Question: what do you picture when you think of the word assassins? If you answered massive battles, warships, or rape and pillage, then maybe you should apply for a job with Ubisoft's development team. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the newest iteration of the oh so long running Assassin's Creed franchise, was revealed today with a shiny cinematic trailer. And although the ever faithful annual leaks over at Ubisoft's idea tank meant that most of us already knew this was coming months ago, the reveal today has nonetheless got a lot of us asking, what? Why? I mean, the trailer itself, while stunning, is pretty much just one big open field battle. They raid some villages, row some boats, and then they duke it out with some soldiers in the mud. And what about any of that suggests an Assassin's Creed? Like, I get the game design has to develop and transform with the times, but when your game starts to change so much that you lose sight of what made it special in the first place, i.e. being a fucking assassin, then you've got a problem. Like, when you get to that stage, just make a new game, come up with a fresh IP. For example, the first Assassin's Creed was initially set up to be a new Prince of Persia game. And at some point along the line, I can only imagine that someone must have put up their hand and said, so how is this Prince of Persia? And everyone else must have said, shit. And so it became Assassin's Creed instead. And no matter how much I would have and still would love a new Prince of Persia game, I'm glad this decision was made. Because if I booted that shit up back in 2007 and found out that instead of taking on sand demons and acrobatic puzzles, I would instead be sitting on benches eavesdropping on people, I'd have been severely pissed off. So why don't they do the same thing here? Seriously, by this point, clinging onto the Assassin's Creed moniker must surely be a detriment. Like, each new game just leads to further confusion, franchise fatigue, and an even more convoluted plot. Like, I can't even remember what the purpose of the fucking Creed is anymore. Something to do with apples? Like, if you just told me that Ubisoft was revealing a brand new open world Viking game, I'd have thought, dope, I'll probably check that out. But as soon as you told me it was an Assassin's Creed game, I just think, what? Why? That doesn't sound assassiny in the slightest. And each time the free running gets worse and assassinations take more of a back seat. But someone does mumble Eden at one point, so technically it's still an Assassin's Creed game. In the same way that Gran Turismo would still technically be a driving game if you played a person that sits in the crowd eating a hot dog as cars drive by. See, this is the problem with franchises in general. At some point, you're going to want to innovate the formula. But by doing so over and over again, you end up with something that isn't even really the same game anymore. It just has the same title. Seriously, by this point, Ubisoft should just make the Assassin's Creed Ninja game we've been clamoring for years, or they should just release the shackles of the Assassin's Creed moniker altogether, and make a fully fledged historically accurate RPG based on the Vikings. Fuck it, yeah, go for it. Just don't slap on the Assassin's Creed title and pretend like we're getting another Ezio story. Because unfortunately the magic of those early games is long gone, and although the Assassin's Creed games aren't necessarily bad, they aren't Assassin's Creed.